Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons, and welcome to the channel that brings power gaming to the next level. Today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are talking about the spell FEEBLEMInd. 8th level spell. We're giving this spell an A, not an S. So the question I put on the thumbnail was, does it end combats? Kind of in some situations, but not always. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I have another video out. All right, so this is an 8th level spell that is usable by bards, druids, warlocks, and wizards. And we're going to talk about some of the historical aspects and what this spell has looked like in the past, particularly in past editions. So, it takes one action. That's good. 150-foot range, that's excellent. Verbal, somatic, and material component, which is clay, crystal glass, or mineral spheres. We don't care. That's worthless. You blast the mind of a creature that you can see within range, attempting to shatter its intellect and personality. The target takes 4d6 psychic damage and must make an intelligence saving throw. So it immediately takes that damage. That is going to be, on average, 14 points of psychic damage. So it's a little bit of damage. It's not great, but it's the next effect that makes it great. Now, again, psychic damage is pretty advantageous because very few things are resistant to psychic damage. So, on a failed save, and let me point this out, it's an intelligence saving throw. That is the one saving throw that you want to target no matter what. It is the one in which most things do not have a great saving throw, but the creatures that this spell has the most effect on probably have a pretty good saving throw or intelligence saving throw. So we're just going to put that out there. So on a failed save, the creature's intelligence and charisma become 1. The creature cannot cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however, identify its friends, follow them, and even protect them. So it can still fight. That's one of the big things. At the end of every 30 days, the creature can repeat the saving throw against the spell. If it succeeds on the saving throw, the spell ends. It can also be ended with a greater restoration, heal, or a wish. A lot of that stuff has bled over from 1st edition, also known as Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, into 2nd edition, into 3rd edition. 4th edition we won't talk about, and it has bled into this edition. So, again, the question was, is this going to cause a creature to be ineffective in combat? Yes. Is it going to end a combat or stop a combat? Probably not. What are the best creatures to cast this on? Well, those are creatures that cast spells that you don't want casting those spells. A lich comes to mind. So the problem with a lich is a lot of liches have a very high intelligence score, which means they are probably going to be trained in intelligence saves and have a pretty high intelligence save. But we have ways around that, and we're going to talk about that. Now, mummy lords and things like that are more divine-based, that is different. And they probably have spells you don't want cast. Enemy clerics, enemy druids, enemy bards, enemy sorcerers, enemy warlocks probably have a pretty mediocre intelligence score. So that's another one that you want to target. But enemy artificers, enemy wizards, probably not so much. Probably not so much. And let's go up here and we'll look at the classes. So artificer and wizard are really the only ones that come into mind. Some rogues, but again, they have both a charisma and an intelligence score of 1, which means they're going to have a pretty high penalty to their saving throws. How high of a penalty do you say? Well, let's go to the player's handbook and not saving throws, but skill checks. And let's go into this part here. I believe there is a table in here that talks about scores. So it talks about scores down to, and that's the cost. Here we go. -5. -5 penalty to charisma and intelligence checks and charisma and intelligence saving throws after they fail the save. So they become very susceptible to, say, charisma-based types of charms and things like that because they have a charisma of 1. Now, what does that mean for skills? Again, intelligence and charisma checks now have a -5 to them. Are they really trained in anything after they have an intelligence or charisma or 1? It doesn't say. You would have to talk to your DM about that and go through that with them. So let's take a look at the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons form of this and see how they changed it, because all the forms are very similar. So here is the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons form. One of the things that's different, and this is from the 1978 Player's Handbook for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and yes, I have a copy that I bought in 1979. I am that old. So, FEEBLEMIND, this was from the Druid section. So if you look at the spells in that book, they are parceled out into cleric spells in alphabetical order, and then Druid spells in alphabetical order, and then magic user spells in alphabetical order. So this is from the Druid section, and in the Druid section, this is a 6th level spell, but Druids only get up to 7th level spells in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. For the Wizard, which goes up to 9th level, FEEBLEMIND is a 5th level spell, and it does exactly the same thing. So, 6th level, and the range is in inches because everything back then was done with miniatures on a wargaming table, which was done in inches. A spell, which is solely for the employment against those persons or creatures who use magic spells, FEEBLEMIND causes the victim's brain to become that of a moronic child. The victim remains in a state until a heal, restoration, or wish is used to do away with the effect. So it's permanent. The 30 days got added in 5th edition. The spell is of such a nature that the probability of it affecting the target creature is generally enhanced. That is, saving throws are lowered. So if you were a magic user or an illusionist or combination or non-human, you got a -4, 5, or 2. If you were a druid, you got a -1, and if you got a clear, you got a +1. Fighters had nothing. So the magic users or wizard, sorcerer, warlock types were more susceptible to this spell in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Now let's look at it in 3rd edition. Here's the spell in 3rd edition. It is a sorcerer wizard 5th level spell, and it is a medium range. Sorry about that. It is a medium range, and it affects 1 creature again. Will saving throw, which is the equivalent in 5th edition, is like intelligence, wisdom, and stuff. So it's intelligence, not charisma, but intelligence drops to 1. Roughly the intellect of a lizard. The creature, it can't cast spells. It cannot use intelligence-based skills. So that's not really in here. What's in the 5th edition spell is that it can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way, but it doesn't say anything about skills other than we know they get a penalty. Still, the creature knows who its friends are and can follow them and can protect them. The creature remains in the state until a heal, limited wish, or miracle or wish. Heal, limited wish, miracle, or wish spell is used to cancel the effects. Creatures who can cast arcane spells such as sorcerers and wizards or use arcane spell effects, so that would be some like demons and devils and things, and suffer a -4 penalty on the save. So they took out, so then they made this a higher level spell. It's 8th level now, and they took out the penalty to saving throws for arcane type casters or intelligence type casters, and they didn't necessarily make it permanent. They made it every 30 days. So they kind of nerfed the spell, but they added damage in, and they added that your charisma also went to 1. So you get a double penalty, but the thing about skills is not in here, and then there's no penalty for your class. So, I mean, this is still an awesome spell. There are situations where you would absolutely want to use this, and then there are situations where this spell might be pretty worthless. But if you're casting 8th level spells, there's going to be a lot of situations, a high probability of a situation popping up where you would want to have this in your repertoire to use. All right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.